So welcome to the Tay and Tristan hour today.
Yeah, the 80s edition.
The 80s edition. Yes. This is the 80s edition, kind of. Kind of the 80s edition.
Yeah. Well, you wanted to talk about your favorite
I
movies and things from the 80s,
yes.
you know?
Pop culture kind of the 80s pop culture.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to go through 10 my top 10 80s films that I really enjoyed that I have written on my board.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, number one is Purple Rain.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
I didn't know that you were going to play that. So number one is Purple Rain, my all-time favorite. I even have the Purple Rain.
Wait, that's your favorite of all time from the 80s?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I love that movie. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's a really good movie.
yeah, I love
It's
it.
probably
It's
one of the best movies ever made by a musician, definitely.
yeah. When I was thinking about my top favorite, like when I was thinking about this list that I made, Purple Rain was the first one that popped in.
When was the first time you saw it?
Oh my god! You mean like how old was I?
When was the first time you saw it?
In the 80s.
Like what? It came out in what, 84?
84,
Or
I
82
think.
or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it was like 80. I want to say 84, 83 or 84. I want to say because he won like a Grammy
What
for
for
that.
song for Purple Rain?
Yeah, writing.
Yeah.
Or did he win? No, I think he won an Academy Award for
Yeah, it's
that.
a movie, but I'm
He
sure
won for like best score or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I could see that. There's some great songs in that
yeah.
movie.
It's
Yeah.
it's just amazing, and he yeah. But I remember seeing it, and it was so sad, like the scene where his dad, the character in the movie, where his dad shoots himself, and
Yeah.
he's like so sad, and like all the abuse it was just it was just a great, along with the music.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just I love the movie.
You want to know what my
Yeah.
favorite part was?
What?
When they went down to Lake Minnetonka.
You
Apollonia.
have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Oh my god, I remember seeing that as a little kid.
It's probably one of the best lines in any movie
Yeah.
ever
I think
heard.
that was when I for sure knew that I liked girls right there. From that scene.
Or was it whenever you saw Apollonia?
Yeah. It's like, oh my god.
Tristan, whatever.
Couldn't
Oh
believe
my,
it.
how old were you? I probably
I
shouldn't
was
have.
probably like 7.
Probably shouldn't have let you watch that
Oh
film.
yeah, I watched so many films that I wasn't supposed to watch, but it's
I-
okay.
Yeah, it was. You're probably like, oh, that's what women look like.
Yeah.
Probably gave you like a false sense of what a woman looks like.
No, actually, it made it clear for me
She was beautiful though.
because you know what? I don't know if I should say this in front of you. I mean, it's not bad, but what I used to think a vagina looked like. I used to think I would picture it in my head as a foreskin with like an opening in it. That's what I thought a vagina was. Probably until I saw that movie. Then I realized it's just, it is what it is. But that's what I thought. That's actually what I thought a vagina was.
No, but I mean, you're probably a lot of boys your age visualize what a vagina
Yeah.
looked like at that age.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't what I expected.
No, it's it never is. I'm sure that the same thing goes for young girls when they think of what a penis looks like.
Yeah, I guess. I
They're
don't know.
probably like, ew.
I don't know. That seems, yeah, I guess. That seems pretty straightforward. I don't know.
But whenever you saw Apollonia, you're like, wow, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course she is. She was and she still is.
You know what? You know what is the thing about watching old movies with attractive people in them?
Mhm.
It kind of makes me sad
Why?
because I know that they're not that attractive anymore. So I'm like having this, like I'm like getting a crush on this actress that was young and beautiful. And then I remember like, oh, she's like 70 now. Like this is just
Not
for
like
nothing.
70 now.
I'm just saying, just for any of old movies with like attractive women in them, that's like.
But she can still be attractive even at that
But
age.
no, it's not. Obviously, it's not the same.
Well, nobody's gonna look the same as she was. She was probably like in her 20s then.
I know, but I'm
I
just
mean,
saying it's kind of like a feeling of disappointment. Like
oh
I
my
will, I
gosh,
will
they're
never,
older.
I will never meet this person
No.
like
I
that.
I know what you
You
mean.
know,
I know what you mean though. Like it's almost kind of like you wish you could have met them at like their
at their
peak.
peak. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm gonna get that. But some people, as they age, though, they like even get more handsome. And I'll give you like an example. So you know, I'm a Walking Dead fan, and I think that Andrew Lincoln is probably extremely good looking. And
It's just because of the beard.
I saw the no, even I've seen him in recently like in pictures with his where he's completely shaved and he's still
Hmm.
extremely good looking, but there's younger photographs of him where he's like cute, but he's not like as good looking as he is now.
Yeah.
And it's just because he's aged. So I
Hmm.
don't think I sometimes I think even as people get older, sometimes they get better looking. It's just
Yeah.
different. It's
Sometimes.
just their attractiveness is just different.
Yeah.
It's just it comes out differently. But he's one of them that's just like, wow,
But
he's
again, I think
really hot.
I think a lot of that is the facial hair though, because if you grow a beard, like if you can grow a full beard, like it can completely, you look like a different person, completely. Like, have you
Yeah.
seen? I don't know if you've seen it. Mark Zuckerberg recently posted a picture of himself, or he was recording a video, but somebody screenshotted it, and he had a beard, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at Zaddy,
No, I
Z-
haven't seen him.
Zaddy Zuckerberg," because
No.
he looks more attractive with a beard.
Oh,
Because you know
really?
how like before he just clean shaven, he looks like a robot.
He does.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
with a
gosh,
beard,
he
he's
does.
like hot, and like the women are like fiending over him on social media.
No, I have not seen a picture of him with a beard.
I gotta show you.
this is this is interesting because I've always.
It was a big thing
You're
on.
right.
It
Now
was
when I
a
look at pictures of him unshaven, all I'm gonna see is
look.
a robot.
Look, this is
That's very interesting.
see how much
Oh wow!
I know. It's crazy.
Wow.
So like a
Huh.
few weeks ago, that was like a big thing on Twitter. Like
That's
everybody
interesting.
was going crazy about it because he looks like a different person.
Yeah, but I could see that it does change the appearance for sure. Yes.
Yeah,
But Andrew Lincoln's always been kind of hot.
I don't know.
I d- yeah, he is. So yeah, but I get that. But yeah, so you'll still have beautiful fond memories of Apollonia. It's okay. Um, but yeah, so Purple Rain is definitely my number one movie.
Okay.
Number two for me was Rad. Rad is the number one, like it's a cult classic BMX
Mm-hmm.
bike movie.
Well, yeah, that was a big thing back in the 80s too.
It was
Like,
BMX bikes
yeah.
and racing were a big thing. So my brother loved BMX bikes. They had the Mongoose bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, you had to have like the certain type of what they called necks on the bikes, which made the handlebars
Yeah.
go all spin around. So for those of you who are old, my age
Mm-hmm.
and older, you know the movie Rad. And even I think some of the younger people are kind of maybe
I
that.
don't think so.
Well, I introduced you to Rad.
Well, yeah. You
If
know what?
you,
That movie really got me. I wanted to be a BMX bike rider, not like a racer, but like the guys that like do tricks
Yeah.
on the bike.
Yeah,
And you guys bought me a BMX bike
I did.
for
We
my
did.
10th birthday.
we did. Yes,
I remember, and
because you wanted one after you watched that movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I was trying to like learn how to do tricks and stuff, but I was too fat. So
Oh, Tristan.
and my bike was like, because you to do those like kind of crazy tricks, your bike has to be kind of like skinny. I think it's
Mhm.
called like a flatland bike or something. That's what they call it. So you can do tricks on flat land.
Yeah.
But I had a big fat bike for a big fat kid, so
Oh, Tristan, stop talking
I
about
couldn't.
yourself.
I know. I'm just saying. It's the truth. I was too. I weighed too much to be able to move it like that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't
It
have
took
the.
a lot of strength to do those tricks too on that bike. If you watch that film, yeah, they really had to be.
Yeah,
They're kind of be in shape, but they were bigger guys though.
they weren't. They weren't fat guys.
They were stout.
No, they weren't. No, they were not. They were just average.
They were stout guys.
Regular guys.
They were stout guys.
But I wanted to be like them, and I couldn't.
Crew Jones is like the main character. Bill Allen is the actor who played Crew Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember your Uncle Steven always saying, man, Crew Jones is the best. He's like, nobody can beat Crew Jones, you know? And yeah, it was one of those movies. I loved the music, as cheesy as somebody would probably look at that movie now and listen to the music. I loved the music.
Yeah.
80s had some of the best music. I'm sorry. They just did. I love 80s music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rad.
What was the song? Wasn't there a dance scene in the song or in the movie?
Yes, there was.
What's the name of that song?
Send Me an Angel.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's what it was.
Send Me an Angel is the song, and where they're actually doing bike tricks to this song. They were at a dance.
Yeah.
And they're actually doing BMX bike tricks to this song.
Yeah, I really loved that song.
Yes. Are you gonna play it?
Who was that? Is that the Scorpions?
No, I don't. Just Send Me an Angel. Yes.
This is it. Oh my God.
Do you believe in heaven above? Do you believe in love? Don't tell me lie, don't be false or untrue. It all comes back to you. Open fire on my burning heart. I've never been lucky in love.
No. Yeah, that was the song I was thinking of.
Yes. So if anybody has not looked at Rad, you know, you should buy it. I actually bought that movie on Amazon, from Amazon.
Yeah.
Because you can't buy it in any
It's
store.
it's probably like $60 on Amazon.
I don't remember how much I paid for it. I don't think I paid that. I
bet now it would be.
I don't
Because
think
there's
I
a
paid
lot
that
of
much.
there's a lot of movies that weren't like big movies, like from back
Right.
in the day that are
Right.
like hard to find.
Yeah, it's a
Like-
cult classic movie though.
Yeah.
it is.
Like
yeah.
like the movie Tales from the Hood.
Yeah,
Years
yeah.
ago I was looking for that online trying to find it. And it was like $60 on Amazon.
Yeah.
But I just actually watched that a few weeks ago on Tubi. So
Yeah. And well, yeah, that's true. A lot of them you can stream on Tubi.
yeah, they have everything.
Rad, you cannot.
Yeah,
Rad is one of those movies that you have to buy it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then it's It's usually being shipped from some warehouse in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, and some who knows where. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my number 2. So, and number 3 is the movie Glory.
I don't know what that movie is.
Okay, so Glory is based off of the true story of I think it's the first African American army. Look it up for me, Tristan. I'm not very good with history. But I don't want to get the number wrong. It's
A number of what?
They were the first black troop to fight in the believe it was the Civil War.
It was the Civil War.
Yes. And so it's based off of a true story. And that it has Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Matthew Broderick in it. It's a wonderful movie. You should watch it. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never watched it before. I've seen it like scrolling, but I've never actually watched it.
It's good. You would like it. Yeah. It's a good movie. So Glory is my number 3.
Okay.
I cry every time I watch it.
Are you serious?
I do. Yes, it's very good. It is a really good movie.
Does somebody die or something?
They all die.
Oh, thanks for spoiling it. Jesus, they all die?
But it's good. It's just because you know that, it doesn't mean, but, and I don't know if I think maybe 1 or 2 of them maybe I don't know. Me and Johnny were talking about it the other day. You just have to watch the film. There's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
It tells a really good story. It's about their fight. They wanted to fight because African Americans, could not fight in the war for a long time. And they wanted to fight. They wanted to fight for the country.
Oh my God.
Get up and get it. I'm not gonna be picking up your vape this this session. I'm not gonna be doing it. I did it last week.
You know, I don't think all of those people wanted to fight.
No, but there were some that wanted to they wanted to.
I think
They did.
I think some of them were forced to.
Well, maybe,
On-
but in this movie, they wanted to. They wanted to fight.
Yeah.
They did. Yes.
You know, black
You need
soldiers,
to watch it.
Black,
Oh, yeah.
black soldiers fought on the opposite side also. On the Confederate side.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Well, I'm not a history buff.
Oh. Neither am I. I know that.
I don't know.
Yeah, they were fighting for their Southern heritage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about it.
I don't know either. It's probably why we need. Yeah. No. I probably need to look at that stuff, but I don't. It's like I'm too busy looking up my favorite '80s movies.
Yeah.
Oh, number 4 is Flashdance.
The first dance movie on the list.
It is the first dance movie on the list. Oh my gosh, I didn't put Dirty Dancing on there. Okay, bummer.
Oh my God. It's an honorable mention.
It's an honorable mention. Have to do it for the late great Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
the 80s was the decade of dance movies. It seems like.
it was. It kind of was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I have to do the honorable mention for Dirty Dancing. Yes, so that was definitely. That's when I fell in love with Patrick Swayze. Yes.
Yeah.
And Flashdance, I do like Flashdance.
I know you do.
Yeah. Johnny hates it when I watch that movie. It's in my collection, but he hates it when I watch that movie.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my gosh. He's like, are you watching that again? How can you not miss? It's got one of the most iconic dance scenes. Everybody knows this one. You know this one?
What one?
So she's on the stage and she's sitting in the chair and she pulls the thing and
What,
the water.
Water comes
Yes.
up. Yeah, of course.
See?
Of course it's water.
Even people from your generation know that, but they know that particular like thing, but some of them may not know where it comes from.
What do you? Oh,
They may not know that it comes from the movie or the film Flashdance.
They were I doubt they were the very first ones to do that. Come on. You think they were the first ones?
That's the first time that was the first time Flashdance was the first time I ever seen anything like that.
Well, it's possible.
You know.
It's possible.
What do you think they did that in the 30s and the 40s?
They might have.
I don't know. Well, if you ever find it, if you find a movie where they did that, let me know.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then we'll be like, oh, well, they stole it from, wherever. But yeah.
It's possible.
So I love Flashdance. It has really great music in that film too.
Yeah.
I like that.
What was the other? What was the other dance movie about? Like the dancing, they were like a team kind of, but they were like instructors, and they like lived in New York City, and they were like, I'm not explaining it well. They were like choreographers for Michael Jackson or something. They were doing like Michael Jackson moves before Michael Jackson did them. Do you know what movie I'm talking about? They all lived together or something.
It's a movie?
Yeah, I've only seen it because of you.
What was that?
I don't know. They were like a dancing team.
And it's from the 80s?
Yeah, it's from the 80s. Of course it's from the 80s.
I don't know if they were.
You don't remember what movie I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my God.
Not that they were dance instructors.
Maybe they weren't instructors.
So there was the movie Fast Forward
That's it.
about the teens.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
there
what
was
I'm
the
talking
movie.
about.
I was just watching that on YouTube.
That's
That was the scene.
Oh, but that was it?
That was one of the scenes.
Is
where
that the
they
movie? Yeah, it's Fast
where-
Forward.
where they had the dance battle,
Yeah.
and they were going there to have like they were going there to audition for like a dance contest or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were actually teenagers, and they all got their money together. They were from a small town like in Ohio or something like that, and yeah, they went to New York. Yes, because I was like dance instructor.
No, they weren't instructors. No.
Yeah, that movie was actually directed by Sidney Poitier.
Yeah, see that. Who's
Yeah,
that?
he was an African American actor. played in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He was a famous African American actor.
I don't know
And
what
then
that is.
in the 40s and 50s. What? Boy, you
Guess who's coming to dinner?
you talked about me needing to be in tune with my heritage.
Oh my God.
With the
I
hip hop
never
stuff.
said that.
You need to do that. You said I need to be in tune with my culture
Well,
because
that's,
I wasn't in tune with the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef.
that's a different thing.
So if you don't, you need to watch some Sidney Poitier.
I haven't watched very
films.
movies from the 60s, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
from the 60s.
Yeah.
I said 50s, didn't I?
You didn't. I don't know what you said.
Because you don't listen to your mother. That's why. Okay. So yes, but yes, Fast Forward is another dance movie. That's another honorable mention, and I love that. And it also has Michael D. Lorenzo, who's in that movie, who's also a dancer, and he was in Michael Jackson's "Beat It" video.
Oh, really?
Yes, look up Michael D. Lorenzo too. Yeah. Just look it up when you have time.
I believe you.
Yeah. Okay. So number 5 on my list is Full Metal Jacket. Yes, Full Metal Jacket.
That would probably be in my top 10 as well.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite. Definitely one of my favorites.
I just watched it for the first time like a year ago. That was the very first time I've ever watched.
What were your thoughts on it?
It's a good movie. I might be thinking of a different movie. Where is it the one with the really tall bald guy and he goes crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. After they beat him with soap.
Did they beat him with soap?
Yeah. They beat him with soap, like wrapped in towels.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then he kept getting verbally abused by the sergeant, by the drill sergeant.
Yeah, and then he just snapped.
He snapped. Yeah. Couldn't take it.
Yeah.
It was too much. But that kind of are those things that go on in the military when you're in basic training, like if you're not like up to par with other people, do they bully you? And, do people go through that mental torture? And some people just freaking snap. And he shot the dude, then he killed himself. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved the film. I did.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I did. I loved it. And just for those who have watched that movie and did know, the guy who played the drill sergeant, he was actually a real, drill sergeant in real life.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm. He was in...
But he's an actor. I've
The
seen him in
Marines.
other movies, I think.
Yeah, he passed away, I think, a few years ago. But, yeah, he played in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know. I haven't
He
seen
played
that movie.
the guy that pretended to be the cop in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh my
I don't
gosh,
know.
you have
I
got
haven't
to go
seen-
back and watch
I haven't
the
seen
film.
the movie in years.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Arlie Ermy, I think is what his name was. So yeah, you have to go back and...
He looks like his name would be Arlie or something.
I loved him as an actor.
That's
but
such
yeah.
an old
And
school name, Arlie.
Yeah, and he played in Mississippi Burning. He played in a lot of different movies. Yeah.
Oh, he was he in Miss? Who is he?
He
in
played
Mississippi Burning?
played the governor in Mississippi Burning.
Oh yeah, that was him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's an '80s movie.
Yeah, I like that too. It just didn't make my top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie too. But yeah, they had a lot of really great movies in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I got a 90s list too. And then number 6 is Crossroads.
Probably, if I had a top 10, I haven't thought of a top 10. That'd probably be number 3 on my list.
Crossroads. Yeah. With Ralph Macchio.
It's Macchio.
Macchio? Is it?
I don't know.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
not.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
That'd be like saying macchiato.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
I think it's Ralph Macchio. And I think.
I don't know. But that
and,
movie is what inspired me to play guitar.
Yeah.
To get into like blues music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It really inspired me.
It is amazing. I can hear that motorcycle on our headphones. It's driving me crazy. But yeah, I love that movie. It's got Steve Vai in it. And it's something Cooper, the guy who played a lot of the guitar for Ralph.
I I don't remember his name.
I want to say Rye Cooper or something
that's
like
it.
that. Yeah, he plays.
It's Cooter.
Cooter. Yes, that's what it is. Well, I don't know. I had to
I
think.
think it's Cooter.
I think. Are you sure?
I think it is.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's Cooter with a D.
We're gonna double check.
It is. It's Cooter.
Is it Rye?
Yes, it's Rye
Rye Cooter.
Cooter.
Cooder.
R.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he did the guitar parts for Ralph.
Yeah. And it's amazing. It is amazing. And just like and Steve Vai did so. I mean, Steve Vai is a great guitar player anyway. Virtuoso.
He is a virtuoso.
Yeah, virtuoso. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I discovered him too.
Yeah. And so I think that's amazing though. So that after you saw
that movie inspired a lot of people that play guitar, like that are older than me. That movie inspired a lot of people to pick up a guitar. You know, because there's not a ton of movies like that are centered around that kind of thing.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? There's that. There's what's the other movie with the two dumb guys?
What? That could
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. Yeah.
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 I've never even seen the movie, but
I've never watched Spinal Tap, so I don't even know.
yeah. But that's another one that like definitely inspired a lot of people to pick up a guitar.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of movies like that.
Yeah, that's true. I loved it. I did. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it was kind of seeing him, and he's also I have Karate Kid right after Crossroads.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio had a run in the 80s.
He did have a run in the 80s.
It's kind of crazy. He was in some big movies.
Well, he was in, I think it was The Outsiders was like his first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like kind of like his springboard for him, and he probably was in something before that, I'm sure, but that was kind of like his big break.
Yeah.
And then I think he did Karate Kid after that.
Yeah.
I might have the timeline off.
No, that's right.
But I think he did the Karate Kid after that, and then Karate Kid 2, and then and I think he only did the first two. But yeah, I mean,
well, wasn't he in another big movie in the 80s?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he was. That I can't think
I cannot think of it. If he was, I can't think of it. And then he did Crossroads. And Crossroads, which is great. I think it was just a wonderful movie. I loved the music, everything in it was just good. And it had a great story, too.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Great story. And, yeah, I loved it.
No, actually, he wasn't in any big movies in the 80s.
No. Really
I mean, he was in some, but not that anyone would know. He kind of fell off.
Yeah. But, I mean, come on. I mean, really, when you think about it, after you make The Karate Kid...
Yeah, you don't need to do anything else.
And it's big. And he went off and he did Broadway, though.
Yeah.
He did Broadway, too. And then he focused on family. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think after you do The Karate Kid and after...
No, he is in the third one.
Is he in the third one?
You know, I've never seen the third Karate Kid.
Oh, you might want to have to watch that. I didn't know he was in the third one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. They made 4 of them, though, I think.
No, they didn't make 4.
Yes, they did, because Hilary Swank is in one of them. Hilary Swank is like in the 4th one.
There's not a 4th.
Well, no, it's the new Karate Kid.
That's different. That's a whole
my
separate
gosh.
universe.
Why do you argue with me?
It's true. Oh, there was it was called The Next Karate Kid.
The Next Karate Kid. Okay.
Came out in 94.
Okay.
And yeah, he wasn't in that one.
Okay.
It had What's her name?
Hilary Swank.
Is that who that is?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God. You and Johnny do this to me. I'll try to tell them something and then they're like, no, that's not what it is. No, I know sometimes I get the words mixed up, but I know what I'm trying to say. And you guys are like, no, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I thought the third one was the one that had Hilary Swank in it.
That's what I thought too.
But there's a 4th.
I did.
I didn't even know that there was a 4th one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that she was in one of them. So, yeah, thank you for correcting me on that. But
Yeah.
but I didn't know he was in the third one. So
Yeah,
I'll have to watch that because I haven't seen it either. I've seen the first two.
Yeah, I've only seen I've never seen
Yeah.
the third one, or I don't really care to see the fourth one. But
No. Okay. So so I had Crossroads and Karate Kid back to back. So I had two Ralph Macchio, and I didn't even realize I did that. But yeah, so
yeah,
those are good. And then
you know what? A side note:
yes.
we also have to give some credit to Elizabeth Shue.
Ah, yes. Okay.
We could do this another episode, but talk about the biggest and best actors in the 80s. Because
Yes,
Elizabeth
yes,
Shue
yeah.
also had a crazy run. She was in
Oh yeah.
the Karate Kid, Adventures in Babysitting, which that's not that big of a movie, but it is a classic movie.
It is a classic. Yes, I love it.
Back to the Future,
Yes.
2 and 3.
Yes.
Like, that's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah.
She was in the biggest... I think the two of the biggest franchises ever are Karate Kid and Back to the Future. At least from the 80s.
Yes. Yeah.
And she was in both of those.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And whenever you think, and you can't have like, and she did have and I always liked Elizabeth Shue, but I liked her, and I loved Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah, I, like
I
that movie
did.
too.
I did. And I always liked her.
And then he kissed me. And then he kissed me. I thought that was such a cool song.
And just oh my god. I can't with you. I can't with you today. Stop it. I'm just waiting for you.
What?
Because I'm just waiting.
That was the intro song.
I'm just
while
waiting.
while she's putting her clothes on, and she's like at the end of the bed, and then he kissed me. Like waving around. She's supposed to be getting dressed.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have that song in my head now. And the visual of Elizabeth Shue dancing around that bedroom. The beginning. He's looking it up now.
No, I'm not.
You're looking up who made that song, aren't you?
No. Now I am.
No, but that's a great honorable mention is to Elizabeth Shue. So yeah, we'll actually do that on another episode where
Yeah.
we're gonna make a list.
We should
of our top 80s.
Well, we should compare
actors.
them and see who has the best movies. Like each
well,
actor.
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Like it could be like a competition, like a versus. Do you know what versus is? It was a big thing during the pandemic, but it was mostly with R&B and hip hop music, where artists at first it would just be like on Instagram Live, and they would each play 20 songs like back to back, and then whoever like cheered the loudest would win.
Oh,
You know?
no.
You never heard about that?
No.
Yeah, it was a big thing during the pandemic, and then it became like a real thing where they did it live.
Oh, yeah.
You
No,
know,
I didn't
where they
know that.
each group or artist played a record back and forth up to 20.
No, I
And
didn't know that.
whoever got the most cheers or whatever won. But I'm
Mm-mm.
saying we should do that with actors.
Oh, okay.
And compare their movie catalogs.
We could do that.
Yeah.
So we could pick like a certain number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can write it up, Mr. Producer, and I'll do it. So yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So I have so many great ones. There's so many great movies though from the 80s. Number 8 is The Goonies.
I love the Goonies.
The Goonies are amazing.
Yeah.
And your Aunt Tracy calls you Chunk.
Yeah.
Like we called Tristan Chunk.
Yeah.
Whenever he was younger, because you were chunky.
Yeah. That's what I said earlier. It's too chunky
You
to
called
do the
yourself-
BMX bike, right? The tricks.
You called yourself fat. We called you Chunk.
Yeah, same thing. You wouldn't call a skinny person chunk.
Maybe.
No.
Just depending. Maybe they.
What if they eat chunky bars or something?
Exactly. The Goonies was just amazing. I loved that film.
Yeah.
It's adventurous. It's cute.
Yeah, it's a feel-good, campy movie.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't even know what campy means, but I
But
think that's what it is.
It's just like treasured on a treasured hunt, you know. And
Yeah.
with this weird kind of scary human creature
Yeah.
that's named Sloth.
Hmm.
And him and Chunk become friends, and
Is there a part where Sloth almost dies?
I don't know. Yeah,
I
like
think-
they think he died. Like the
Yeah,
thing
they thought he died.
collapsed.
Like, yeah.
Like
I cried during that part.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think I shed a tear.
Oh, that's
I think
so
I
sad.
I shed a tear to that.
Oh,
Probably the last time I watched it.
my baby. Oh,
I thought that was so sad. And then he's alive. Yay! And then I cried for that.
happy tears.
Yeah.
Oh, whenever they found, because he brought out the mom and his mom and brother or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gang. Yeah, I
Oh
have.
my god, that
movie.
lady was scary to me when I was
the
little.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman at first. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's just an old scary white lady of a certain variety.
Yeah, she had a rough voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was scary.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it was such a good film. I loved it. The Goonies. Now that is very, very 80s, like
Yeah.
85 or something like that. So
Yeah,
mid-80s.
but it's interesting, and a lot of these, not all of them obviously, but a lot of these big movies, like where they're kids,
Mhm.
a lot of them don't really grow up to be like how you would expect them to be, like big actors.
Yeah,
If they're in
right.
like a big film
yeah,
when they're
That's
little
true.
kids.
yeah.
I think only a couple of them, like the main kid was in Lord of the Rings, and
Sean Astin.
yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. No, I think like, yeah, that's true. But who knows what they go through as child actors, because they're cute as kids, and
Yeah.
then they grow out of that, and then
And then they're not getting any jobs or callbacks
or anything. Yeah. And then they have to kind of figure out who they are, because you're going through puberty, and then they have identity crisis, and then
Yeah.
it's like, and then if they're cast because they look a certain way, and then they grow out of that cute stage, and then you have that awkward teenage stage, and
Yeah.
and they're not attractive or appealing to producers, and it's a cutthroat business.
Yeah.
It's a cutthroat business, and
Yeah, a lot
And
of
then
kids
yeah.
that grow up in the entertainment business grow
Yeah.
up to be crazy people.
yeah,
Like they go crazy
yeah,
because it's not a good way to grow up to have that much attention while you're still developing,
right,
and you have all these resources, you have all this money,
yeah,
and you can do whatever you want as a child.
yeah, yeah. It's hard.
Like you have the world handed to you,
Yeah,
and then you're always being judged and
mm-hmm,
always seeking validation and trying to get jobs, and
mm-hmm.
and a lot of them go crazy.
They do. But it depends on what is the foundation that they have. Because then because they have their parents as managers most of the time,
Mhm.
along with other managers, right? I mean, they're working with the studio or whoever.
Yeah.
But then, it's because I won't say every child actor, is crazy and hasn't
No, not
had
all of
grown.
them.
Because I mean, if you look at Kurt Russell has been, he's a child actor. He was a
Yeah.
child actor. And I mean, he seems pretty grounded.
Well, yeah, there's a few of them.
And he's been in the business forever.
There's a
but-
few of them that made it. Him, what's his name from Little House on the Prairie? He made Ozark.
Oh,
He was a little kid on Little House of the Prairie.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's quite a few. There's probably a lot more than we don't know. But
Yeah, but I'm just saying, a lot of them do. I mean, look at Britney Spears. Look at the girl that was on Nickelodeon.
yeah. But then there's a lot of pedos, and there's a lot of pedophilia, and there's a lot of there's a lot of people that are victimized in that business.
Yeah,
A lot.
for sure.
It's they take
That'll-
advantage.
That'll definitely cause you to lose your mind.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, well, you're fine. We'll just owe you this much more money."
Yeah,
And then you just try to buy it, spend it all away, and drink it all away, and drug it all away.
Mhm.
And you lose your mind after a while, because and then you try to talk to people and tell people things, and then they turn it around like that person's crazy
Yeah.
when they're not. So
Yeah, that could have been my future.
it could have been, but
Dang
I
it.
didn't.
Mom, stupid car. You know what I could have been right now? I could have been in the hills, smoking dope,
Oh,
getting drunk.
and then you would have blamed me for ruining your life.
Well, I would have been rich, so it would have been fine.
We both would have been rich, because I, of course, a mother would have got a percentage. But it wasn't meant to be. You were on the head sheet. Anybody?
Tell the story. What was?
Oh my gosh, she's gonna make me tell the story.
What was?
Okay,
what was the
so
whole thing?
it was through. Okay, so you were. Oh my gosh, you were probably. I don't even think you were a year old. Maybe a year, and because you were walking and saying certain words.
Yeah.
Maybe, but you were very young. And so they had, at the time, it was called Powers International Acting and Modeling Agency, and so they would go around and they would hold auditions at certain hotels and things, and so you could kind of do walk-ins. You didn't have to have appointments or anything like that, and they would have open auditions. And so Tracy took Ivory there. And so I was like, well, I'll just go along. And I had you, we went in, and so one of the ladies there that was, doing the auditions, she saw you. And I think the only word you could really say were hi. And then it would just be jibber jabberish after that. And so you saw, so here's Tristan. He's got this blonde curly hair, these blue eyes. And she saw you, and you were just walking around. You were going, hi, 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 and just, being you. And so the lady just saw you. And the next thing I know, like the next day, they call. I gave them your name and my name and everything. And they call, and then they if they liked you, they sponsored you.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning they would put you on their, what they called their head sheet.
Yeah.
So they would take your picture. We went in, we did the photo shoot. They put your photo on there, and they sent it out to agents and places that were looking for kids.
Yeah.
For modeling catalogs, anything like that. That's when they had catalogs.
Yeah.
And if they wanted the kids to model clothes or whatever, commercials. And I think I got you to maybe 1 or 2 auditions. And since you really didn't, and they had everybody, like all the kids aged in groups for auditions, and you were very young. So you were like in the 0 to 5 age group. And so they did a lot of video. And so whether they would say your name, I would tell them your name, your age, and then they would just take a quick video of you. And then you would smile, or if you would say something, and then they would go on to the next. And so we only did like a couple of those. And then my car broke down, and I couldn't get you to any more auditions. So I took that as a sign from God that we weren't supposed to be in the entertainment business.
Oh, that's bullcrap.
So we got you to a couple,
That is
but I
such
couldn't.
bullcrap.
And this was Powers International that was in St. Louis at the time. So, and then, are you looking at?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But you know the movies I could have been in?
I know, honey. But okay, so here's the thing: if you want to do it, like I said, you're an exceptional guitar player.
No, it's
you want to get
too
into
late. It's too late for that.
not too late.
I wanted to be a movie star. And,
You could still be a movie star.
no, it's too late for that.
You can still be a movie star. You're 23 years old. Do you think that people cannot get into the business at an older age? Because they absolutely can. They absolutely can. You can get in, if you want to get into the business, you can get into the business at any age.
No, it would have
my
been it would have been
gosh.
better if I would have gotten in as a child, because then I would have grown up knowing the business and knowing how manipulative people are and how nasty it is. And then I
Okay.
would have had the knowledge, then I would have grown up and I would have known all these things. And
But here's the thing. You now know how the business, here's the thing though. I think because a lot of things are coming to light in the business and people, I think you have more knowledge about how the business is now than if you would have been in it. because you're on the outside looking in.
No,
I
it's
think
different.
You have
It's
a better
different.
idea.
No.
There's more transparency now than there would have been then. I think
Well,
there
yeah,
is.
yeah, there
because
is.
because of social media. So you have more knowledge now of kind of what you're getting into and what it would be like than then. Because
Exactly,
that
which
was
is
early 90s.
yeah, but
That was early 2000s, I mean. Yeah.
that's why I wouldn't want to get into it now because I know. But I would have been ignorant as a child, so I would have done it anyway.
I would
And then I would have just dealt with it and got rich.
But then you would have been, but would it have been worth the trauma? If somebody would have done something, would it have been worth the trauma of living with that?
I mean,
the
it
rest of
depends
your life?
on whatever.
No,
it depends, but
it was supposed to happen the way that it happened. And
I think you would have been one of those momagers that would have been like trying to take my money.
that's not
I
true.
got to buy a new car, but you just bought a car last week. And
That's not true.
what the heck? What's all this jewelry?
That's not true. And then you would have ended
Bought a
up.
Birkin bag. What are you doing?
No, I wouldn't even know what a Birkin bag was.
You would if you were in Hollywood and you had the money to get it. You would know.
I couldn't. I don't think I could have done that. I couldn't have done that to you.
You don't know unless you're in that situation. And at that time, you were a young woman.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you don't know what you
but
would have done.
see-
This is more money than you've ever seen in your life.
Exactly. And that's why it didn't happen. That's why God was like, no, they don't need to. It's not time. It's not meant to happen. So yeah, it's. I can't help it that I had a shit car. What do you want me
If
to
you just
say?
would have gotten there, we could have walked. You could have got a new car.
The
in a few
car
months.
would not. It just didn't. It just wasn't meant to be.
Man, when I have a kid, I'm making sure my oil is changed. I'm taking him right to the agency.
See what you're blaming me
We're
for?
milking him for all he has.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm trying to get your music on YouTube and you won't let me do it. So I'm trying to do it now and you're like, "No, I don't want to. No, I don't want to."
that's whatever.
Anyway, can I get back to
Yeah,
my
go
80s?
to the
Okay,
next movie.
thank you. So I didn't even know how we got on that topic. Okay, so number 9. Oh, because of the Goonies. So number 9 is Scarface. Fantastic movie.
You know what's interesting?
Love it.
You know what's interesting? Nowadays, people say that Scarface is trash.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of
Why?
people looking back because I'm sure it was a dope movie when it came out, and in
Yeah.
the '90s, people are
80s.
idolizing. I know.
80s.
I'm saying afterwards though, like in the '90s, you hear rappers like idolizing Tony Montana, and like,
Yes.
people are
Yes.
looking up to this character. You know,
Yeah.
so it was a big thing. But I just mean the movie itself. A lot of people think that it is not a good movie.
Well, I think if you go back and you watch it, like the dialogue in it, yeah, it probably probably needed better writers. But I think I don't. I love it. It's
Yeah, I think it's a perfect anti-hero
yes,
story.
Yes, it's like he was coming to America for the American dream, right?
Mhm.
But it kind of is that tale that there's no shortcuts to success
Without consequences.
without consequences.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it cost him his life.
Yeah.
Like he got to this point where he was comfortable, but that was greed. He was his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
He caused his downfall. He did. And then it's just this cautionary tale that this is what will happen based on our decisions. So yeah, he did not want to work hard
Mm-hmm.
to make money in America. Like you're here to
But he did work pretty hard.
but
I mean-
he killed people and he killed people. He did favors for this drug dealer to get in. That's how he
Yeah.
got into it. He
But
killed
that's
this guy.
That's just
know.
that's part of the business.
Yeah, but it's almost kind of like he didn't know any other ways to live
Yeah.
and to make a living because that's how the character's life was in Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to America. How do you make a living with having that sort of past in another country? And
Yeah.
they knew what his past was, and then he comes to America, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
all you know how to do is be a criminal.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Well, you got to get it how you live.
yeah. But it cost him his life, you know.
Yeah, you know, I
It's,
think
but it's a movie I love, but I love Al Pacino. I love Al Pacino.
a lot of people think it's one of his worst roles, but
I love
I'll say
the movie.
every time I watch this movie, and probably a lot of people that are fans of this movie, every time I watch it at the end, I'm just hoping that he turns around and
I
shoots
know.
him every time. I'm like, come on, it's got to be different this time. Come on, turn around, Toby. Shoot him. Just shoot him. Turn around. Every time I've watched it.
I know. Why do we do
I
that?
don't know, because you want him to win. Even though he's this horrible guy who's doing all these horrible things, but you still want him.
But then you know that he had remorse that he killed his best friend because he
that
knew
was-
that he was out of his mind.
Yeah.
And he killed his sister. You know what I mean? His sister died because of his jealousy and rage. But it was all because of his addiction. It's so
Yeah.
crazy. And then he recognized what he did. And then
Mhm.
it's like, oh, he's like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? And then you're always hoping like, man, Tony, yes, turn around
Yeah, every
around,
time.
Tony. What are you doing? and then you're like, every time you always wanted it to be a different outcome.
Yeah.
And you know it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
but there is a way to have a different outcome. You know why? Because there was a Scarface video game on PlayStation 2 that I loved this game. I need to buy a PS2 so I can get that game again. It's so fun. It starts with them raiding the mansion,
Yeah.
right? And you're like shooting everybody, going into rage mode, just killing everybody. But the first thing you do is you turn around and blah blah and shoot the guy with the shotgun. That's the first thing you do at the start
Yeah.
of the game.
But that's in the game. You
I
want
know,
the
but
movie to change.
I'm just saying it's a way. If you want a different outcome, that's the only way
You want the movie
to get it.
change.
And then you go on. It's a really great game, honestly. You know, it's basically Tony trying to build his empire back up.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to sell drugs. You can sell drugs on the street level, and you're making these big deals, and it's a fun game.
I don't know. I don't know. It's one of mine. I know some people think it's like his worst. Like they think
I
The
think
Godfather is probably the best
Yeah,
movies that he's been in. I don't know.
I think it's a great movie.
Sin of a Woman is a really great Al Pacino film too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a great actor. I love Al Pacino.
Yeah, I really had a
Um,
crush on Michelle Pfeiffer too from that
I think
movie.
a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Then you realize she's 59 or whatever.
And it goes back to him like, oh my gosh, all these hot chicks
Yeah.
are like old. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, people age.
No, there's
You
nothing
know,
wrong with
it's-
it. I'm just saying
it's
it's
definitely-
it kind of disappoints your soul a little bit. is all.
Yeah, I know. No, it's okay. It's okay. And then number 10 for my 80 is Back to the Future. Number 10, Back to the Future rounds out my top 10 80, and then we're gonna get to the 90s
Yeah.
list.
This is number one for me.
Where are we at? We're good.
58. We could do the 90s next week.
No, I want to do my 90s.
I know, but it's better if we separate it.
Oh my gosh, why?
I think so.
Whatever.
It'll be fun. We'll do 90s next week.
That's because he wants to keep it at an hour podcast.
Yeah, it's fine. We did the 80s this week. I think that's perfect.
Well, number 10 is Back to the Future.
Yeah. This is probably number one for me,
Yeah.
I think. I actually just watched it recently, a few weeks ago.
I love the whole trilogy.
Yeah, it's so
of
good.
Back to the Future. And
Which one is your favorite one?
Oh my gosh, the second one.
Me too. When they go to the future.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the first one, of course, is classic. I love it. But the part 2, and I remember after watching the first one back in the 80s, I was like, oh, that's so great. And we waited years for part 2 to come out.
It wasn't that, wasn't it? It was like 2 years or something. wasn't
It seemed like forever.
Yeah.
For it to come out. But I understand, after watching the second part, I understand why it took so long for them to make it, because
Yeah.
it had just so wonderful. And I have to give a mention to my favorite actor, and I'm going to get to this next week when we do the 90s one, because it has my favorite actor. One of my favorite actors.
Who? The Greek guy?
Who's the Greek guy?
I don't remember his name.
You know his name.
I don't remember it. I just know he's the bald guy in Demon Knight.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Oh my god.
How did you know he was Greek?
Because you used to talk about him like he's this Greek god. Like, oh, he's so pretty and he's Greek. Oh,
Yes, he is. Yeah.
oh my god. He's not that attractive.
He is.
How about
Yes.
now? I bet he's 300 pounds today.
He is not. Oh my god.
Let's look up a picture of Billy Zane in 2024. I have nothing against Billy Zane. I'm just I'm just trying to poop on her party for fun. But
Billy Zane. Yes. And yeah.
wait, who is he in Back to the Future?
He plays one of Biff's
Oh no, he looks pretty good.
yeah.
He looks pretty good today.
Yeah. That's that Greek in him. That's the Greek.
Yeah, the Greeks really hold it together. John
Yeah.
Stamos.
I know.
Oh my god, a beautiful man.
I know. So Billy Zane played one of Biff's like hooligan goon guys. So yeah, he played in because he's the guy in part 2 where he goes, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way."
You mean the third one?
The second one, he played. He had always wear.
But
he
you
wore-
used a southern accent. That's
yes.
the third one.
No, it's the second one. He wore like the big cowboy hat.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
He
I
always wears cowboy hats. But yes. So Billy Zane is like that's my ultimate like that's on my bucket list. Is one
Meet Billy Zane?
Yes.
Mom, where are you going to meet Billy Zane at?
I don't know.
We would have met him if you would have taken me to the agency. Probably would have been in a movie with him. Your dream would have come true.
Yes, that is my bucket list.
Yeah.
I yes. To meet Billy Zane one day. I don't know. He does cons. He does.
What, like Comic-Con or something?
Yeah, he does those
Yeah.
for like Demon Night and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not talking about Billy Zane. We're talking about Back to the Future.
But you're like, but he was in Back to the Future.
What about Michael J. Fox? Huh?
I like Michael J. Fox too. I had a huge crush on Michael J. Fox.
Really?
Yes. What?
No, I mean,
You're like,
no.
ew.
No, there's
these
nothing wrong with that.
dudes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I liked Michael J. Fox. Yes.
What about the scientist?
Oh,
Doc Brown. You didn't have a crush
you
on
know, you're like, who do all these guys you had crushes on, Mom? Yeah. No, you know who I did really like in that film was Crispin Glover.
him? Who? Which one was that?
He played McFly. He
You
played
mean his dad?
his dad.
Yeah.
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 I liked him.
Yeah, he's a
I
really
did.
good actor.
But he's a great actor.
He was in that Rat movie. What was that called?
Oh,
Was that the remake of Ben or something?
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was called something
But
else.
it wasn't Ben. It was oh my gosh, this is why I wish your grandmother was in here. Oh my gosh. What is it?
Yeah, I don't remember. What is his name? Crispin Glover?
Yes.
I'm just gonna look up Crispin Glover rats.
Willard.
Yeah.
Willard. He was in Willard.
Yeah, that movie freaked me out.
Because of all the rats in
Yeah,
it.
it's creepy.
Because of all the rats in it.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah. I like that. But yeah, I like the whole thing, and I think Christopher Lloyd is hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
He is so funny. Anything he has ever been in is so funny.
Yeah, he kind of looks the same.
Have
today.
you watched him? Have you watched him in Taxi?
Taxi?
Taxi is a sitcom from the 1970s.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that.
You should watch Taxi. And he plays Jim, a character named Jim
Mm-hmm.
in Taxi, and you should watch that. And
Yeah, I think I've heard of it, but I don't know.
yeah, he was funny. So I don't think any other actor could have played Doc Brown.
Yeah, he was born for it.
Yeah,
He's perfect at it.
yeah. And that is like my favorite 80s. And how could you not like Huey Lewis in the News music
Oh my
in that
God.
film? So I knew a lot of people who did not like I don't think Johnny like I have some Huey Lewis in the News on my Spotify
Mm-hmm.
playlist, and I don't think Johnny likes them.
Have you ever seen
I like them.
Have you ever seen the making of We Are the World?
Yes, and I
Remember
know
the parts?
Don't
where
say it.
They're rehearsing, and Michael sings just beautifully, perfect pitch, perfect tone. He gets it just right every time. When you're down and out, and there seems no hope at all. And then it goes to Huey, and he's like, "And if you just believe, that's what we can fly." That's what he sounded like, and everybody's looking like, "What's wrong with this guy?" And then it goes to Cyndi Lauper, and she's, "I just realized," and Michael's just standing there like, "Okay, we're gonna be here for hours." I'm just saying it took him a while to get it right. is all I'm
Yes,
saying.
it took him a little bit. Yeah, it was.
Not saying that he's not a good singer. I mean, he's fine, but
Yes, yeah, he is.
but he's singing right after Michael Jackson. Like
No,
that's hard to.
I
match.
don't even know why Quincy Jones put it in that order. That's on Quincy Jones.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, and Lionel Richie. But yeah, I saw that clip
Yeah.
or that short,
Yeah.
and I actually like Cyndi Lauper's bridge
No, yeah, her part is good
I,
when she got it
because
right. Yeah.
yeah, it's something about the way that bridge that she does. I loved it in that song.
Yeah.
It really works for her. But yeah, whenever what's funny is like I don't even pay attention to the way Huey is singing. It's Michael's reaction
I know.
to it that is hilarious. Oh my gosh, it's like he's so into it, and Michael is so into it, and he's so happy.
He's trying.
And then with his facial expression just like drops like, what?
What is that? Who called this guy?
But it is amazing though.
Yeah.
I love the song. I love the 80s. So those are my top 10. So just to recap, it is Purple Rain,
Mm-hmm.
Rad, Glory,
Mm-hmm.
Flashdance, Full Metal Jacket, Crossroads, The Karate Kid, The Goonies, Scarface, and Back to the Future. And then we're gonna
Yeah.
do the 90s next
It's a
week.
good top 10. I'm going to have to come up with my own top 10 for the 90s.
Yeah.
'Cause I know more 90s movies.
And I'm starting off with my Greek god next week.
You're a Greek god.
Yes, Mr. Billy Zane. Yes. Yeah.
He's no Greek god.
That's what you called him. What can I say? Ever since I just saw him like back in the 80s, like, yeah.
He's fine.
You pulled up a picture of him, and you're like, yeah, okay.
No, he
this
looks
pretty
decent.
good.
He looks
The dude is
decent today.
50. The dude is 58 years old.
Oh, I thought he was older than that.
No, he's 58.
Oh.
I think he just turned 58. Yeah,
You keep track of his birthday?
of course.
Oh my god. You creep.
You Google, it says how old people are.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a pretty good top 10 list, I would say.
Yeah, it is. And I'm an 8, I grew up in the 80s, so I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the 80s.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best decades.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. You could ride in the back of pickup trucks.
That's true. You could drive drunk without seatbelts. Have you ever seen that video of
Don't drive drunk.
they were it was like it was on the news where they had just passed the law where like you couldn't drink and drive or you had to wear a seatbelt or something, and they were doing it was like down south, and these people were like they're like, oh, this is turning into a communist country. You can't even get behind the wheel and drink a beer, drive. It was so
No, you cannot.
It was
You know
so
why?
ridiculous.
Because you end up killing people or yourself whenever you do that.
Oh my god! I'm gonna
jeez.
have to find
Oh my goodness.
the video. It's so funny.
That's ridiculous. And we'll get in more to I just I just don't understand people sometimes. It's interesting. But yes,
Yeah.
that's great. All right, so those are my top 10. Like I said, next week we'll do the 90s.
Yeah, next
and then
week we'll get to the golden decade, the good decade.
Yeah, I have some good. I think I have some good movies on my list for next week. I
Yeah,
think
but
you'll like
You have some
'em.
good ones, but you don't have the great ones.
I have some great ones on there. Even Johnny came in and he looked at that list. He was like, "Yeah, okay, that's a lot better." Because Tristan and Johnny don't think I have good taste in music, and
I
they
don't
don't
think
think I
that.
have good taste in film.
I don't think that at all.
You guys think my taste is a little off.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you guys do. You guys are like, I don't know. Some
No.
of the music I listen to,
No, I'm not. I'm not against it.
I love it. I
guess so.
love 70s disco, and I love 80s music.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And I love 80s new wave music, which is
Mm.
kind of like, you've heard my 80s new wave because I have some on Spotify.
Yeah,
So, yeah. It's good music.
yeah, I guess, but it doesn't compare to the '90s.
Okay, whatever.
So we'll get to that next week.
Yes. So remember that we are still broadcasting on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Not broadcasting, but our podcast is on Spotify. I forgot to mention last week that we're also on iHeartRadio. And we have an Instagram page. And
We'll have a TikTok soon, also.
yes, and I do upload some shorts on my TikTok, which is, I forgot my handle.
Oh my goodness. This is why we're gonna create a TikTok page just for the podcast. So,
Yes, Tristan is going to be doing that, so that's going to be coming soon.
Yeah.
And let's see what else. Oh, we're on Apple Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it. Oh, and of course we have our YouTube. I forgot what else I said.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to try to upload when our podcasts upload on YouTube. It's just the audio. So for this one, we're actually going to try to get the video
Yeah.
up on YouTube.
Yeah.
For this one next week. So So yeah, that's all I've got. I always want to try to end it on a positive note. So I just want to tell everybody, be kind and loving to one another.
Yeah. That's a good thing to live by.
Yeah, we need it in this climate we're kind of living in right now. So
Mm-hmm.
just be kind and loving to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I got for today, everybody. So once again, this is the Tay and Tristan Hour. And please, if you are on our YouTube channel and you're following, just, comment, like, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And take your kids to the agency.
Yeah. Take your kids to the talent agency.
Yeah. Let them get famous. Make that money. Let's go to Hollywood, baby.
Peace out, everybody.